Hey everybody, I'm doing a video about the Sega Dreamcast today, and I just want to talk about my experiences and how I've been enjoying it, and just kind of giving my perspective of this awesome console. And I just want to really bring it out there and just sit down and chat about it. I've been going through a lot where I just haven't been really into playing video games, and I don't know why. I just had this weird period in my life where just video games were just not interesting me, where I'd start one up and never really finish it, or just not be wanted to carry on. But I started picking up the Dreamcast again, and I had one in my collection for a long time. I've definitely gained that re-love of video games again, and I've been really excited to find more games for it and to be able to explore the library that this console has. Here's that beautiful console I was talking about. I don't even really know where I got my Dreamcast. It's been actually on my mind. Where the hell did I get this thing? I have no clue. I have no clue how this became into my possession. I got it when I was still in high school. And I'm like, did I get it at a thrift store? And I'm like, man, this would be the best thrift store find. And I feel like I would remember that. I really just don't know how this mysterious console came into my life. I usually know what every console comes from and this history behind it. But the Dreamcast boggles my mind of how I got my hands on it. There was a record store in my old town that sold video games there, and they had Dreamcast games. And I'm like, I know I bought Dreamcast games from them, but I don't know if I bought the console for them. And I don't think so. I feel like it's something I remember. I remember where I got my Atari 400s from, or my Nintendo Entertainment System, or my Sega Genesis. I just don't know where this mystery console came from. And I think it's something that I am very proud to own, and that I proudly love to play and display, and I continue to really enjoy this console, even though that sometimes I have to go and open it up, and there's this little knob you're supposed to turn for the disc reader, and I'm not gonna lie, the Dreamcast has given me so many issues. I spent maybe too long trying to diagnose the issue, trying to play one game for an hour. But I don't know, it's worth it. And I know a lot of people say oh, you can get replacement parts, you can get rid of the CD drive and then just put flash memory and do your ROMs and everything. And I'm just not interested in that. I really like collecting the games and the CDs and then being able to pop them in, let the system run, hear it run. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but listening to the console run is it's really nice. It's really nice to hear. Maybe that's weird. Maybe that's just me. I don't really have the biggest game collection for my Dreamcast, and nor that I desire to own every single game, but it's more that there's so much out there for it. I want to play more of them, that I'm excited to keep collecting for it and keep finding them. Sadly, I'm at this point of video game market where Dreamcast games are out of this world expensive. I have some Dreamcast games. I actually haven't really looked up the price of them, but I know that they go for a lot more than the ticket value that I actually purchased it originally for. And I still have the price tags on them. For example, again, not a game that everybody's looking for. I'm a big Toy Story fan, so this was awesome for me to find. Is Buzz Lightyear A Star Command. It's a platformer game. Don't confuse it with Toy Story 2, but it is fun nevertheless. But I got it for, I don't know if you can see, but $6. Dreamcast game. Complete. Awesome condition. Whatever. $6. You can't even go to your local game store and find any Dreamcast game for $6. So pretty cool. And again, I never knew this game existed until I played the Dreamcast version, and it's okay. It's good. Other games that I got, and I would have never purchased these myself. For my collection, I don't collect these kind of games. And of course, while you have a video game collection, don't care who you are, you have sports titles. I have 3 sports titles for the Dreamcast. I don't think I played a single one of these. I have them. They kind of fill the shelf, to be honest. That's why I haven't got rid of them. I don't think I will, just because Dreamcast games are expensive, even if it's a sports title. Again, I'm not really a sports guy, but hell, maybe one day, you know, my son will grow up and he's going to be super into sports, and me and him can sit down and play Dreamcast. Rayman 2. Now, Rayman 2 is a really good classic game. It's a good platformer. I played, actually, surprisingly, I played a lot of Rayman 2 on the 3DS, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. But $15. Again, you won't be able to find Dreamcast games for $15, so I think that's really cool. Who can forget Sonic Adventure, a classic. Now, I don't have Sonic Adventure 2, but I have Sonic Adventure, the first one. The second one I definitely want to grab at some point, but I have the first one. Now, I got this one, I can't remember, I believe actually I got it at the same store that I got my Rayman 2 and my Buzz Lightyear game, but this doesn't work at all. Like, just doesn't play. And what I think this is, and me and my wife have looked really into this, I think this is a dud copy. Usually, I'm not one to buy video games off of eBay, but I really want to play Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. I picked up Sonic Adventure. This is the All-Stars version? Yeah, the All-Star version. And this one runs. This one runs no problem. And apparently the All-Stars, all of them will work because they fixed that issue. So I have 2 copies. One just doesn't work. So it's just, again, maybe a filler on the shelf. But I also don't want to get rid of it because it's kind of a little bit of like a video game history, even though it's definitely not worth shit. This is Sega Smash Pack Volume 1. So you got all your classic Sega games in this, and it's like just a compilation of a bunch of different games. It's fun. It's great. I love having it for the Dreamcast. So 2 other games that I have in the game collection is Fighting Force 2. I haven't honestly played this one a hell of a lot. I have loaded it up, messed around in it a bit. I'm probably wanting to get back into this game, but I'm playing another game right now on the Dreamcast, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But it's cool to have. I'm glad to have it. I don't know if it's totally my kind of game. I usually do like shooters, but again, I gotta give it a second try. Sometimes there's games where you just like kind of play them, and then you're like, I don't know if this is for me. But then sometimes you start playing it again, and you're like, oh shit, this is for me. I love this game. What was I thinking before? Who knows? I'm pretty sure all of you guys have had that. Let me know, seriously, what game you've played that like you're just like, I'm just not getting into this. This is not really my thing. And then maybe like a year or months or a year later, it was completely the game you've been looking for. Yeah, I've done that a lot. There's a lot of games I pick up and I'm like, I don't know. And then I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. Next game is, and I played with this. Again, maybe I gotta give this one a second chance. But maybe I wasn't in the right mood. Was Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. I felt the controls to be very clunky. It was very confusing, and I get it's retro first-person shooter on a console with one stick. I get it. I'm used to it. It doesn't bother me generally, but it's just I just felt it very clunky, kind of confusing to figure out what's going on, and as well as load times are insane. Hydro Thunder. Now this game is fucking rockin'. I love this game so much. Jess, my wife, knows how much I enjoy it. I played levels over and over and over again to get better. Jess was pregnant during the time, and we'd be laying in bed, and I'd be playing this on the Dreamcast, and I'd be playing the levels again and again and again, and she'd just be watching me until she would fall asleep and then wake up again, and I'd be still on the same level, just trying to get a better score and trying to do better and improve so that I can get to the next level. I almost 100% this game. This is such a classic for the Dreamcast. I'm hoping one day I can get an actual instruction manual for it so that I can complete the copy that I got. Now, again, I'm not looking for completion or anything like that. It's just more I want to see the cover when I pull it out. Something nice about it when you pull out a game, you see the cover and the artwork of that game instead of just the disc. Elemental Gimmick Gear Egg for the Dreamcast. Now, this game is awesome. This game is awesome because it's like a RPG, but there's like mech fights. So basically how the game works is that you're like in a top-down view, you're going through different towns and different stories and finding new people to meet. But then when you go into a battle action, you go into your egg, which is your mech, and you get to fight another mech, and like, it is so cool. Egg is a game I didn't know what I was going into. I saw it, I saw the cover, I thought it looked cool, I looked at the back, I read through it, I thought it'd be fun, and I picked it up. Now, my last game I want to talk about is a game that I didn't know if I was going to like or not, and I have fallen in love with it. It is so good. And it's kind of interesting to get so into this game just because it was built for online. Generally, you can play offline, but it was built for online, and guess what? The online for the Dreamcast is over. It's donezo. We just had the Xbox, go offline recently. There's no way the Dreamcast is still online. Apparently there's ways that you can, but you need to know people and then connect with them. It's a whole thing. Anyways, that game is... Alright, that game is Phantasy Star Online. Now, the reason why it's in there is because that's the game I'm playing right now, and I honestly just have the disc. I went to a game store in Vancouver, and they had a copy of Phantasy Star Online with the jewel case complete, but they wanted $70 for it. And I've really been wanting to play this game and try it out, but I didn't want to pay $70 for a game that I may not like. So they had this one. They gave me a bunch of loose Dreamcast games that they were saying like, well, we have these ones if you're interested. And Phantasy Star Online was in this loose sleeve, and I'm like, that's the game I want. And they were just selling for $20. And I was like, you know what? I really, really want to try this game. They were also doing a sweet deal where it was buy 2 games of $25 or less in value, and you get your third game for free. I finally picked this up, popped it into my Dreamcast. I am completely in love with this game. It is so good. Even though I'm playing offline mode, and I know most of the game features is like generally online based, and it's definitely for multiplayer to play with other people, and the people that get to experience that back in the day, that's awesome, and I wish I could have experienced that as well. But for just a single player offline, and some people call it Phantasy Star Offline, it is so good. It is, I don't know what about it. It's simple, but it's not. There's like a more complexity to the game as you continue on. The enemies from stage 1 are kind of similar to stage 2, but then they add some extra twists in there. And like, there was this one monster, I can't remember the name of it, and it's basically, it seems like one monster, and then it breaks apart and it becomes 2 monsters, and I'm like, holy fuck, what am I going to do? And trying to shoot it when it's one monster doesn't do anything from what I'm able to do, and then when it breaks apart, I can fight it, but then it charges at me. There's something super magical about the creature design in the game when you're trying to go through each of the dungeons and go through each of the different sections of the game. Phantasy Star Online is a great game. I really enjoy it. I definitely think if you want to test out some games for the Dreamcast, If you can find one cheap and you don't know if you're going to like it or not, try it out. I think the offline mode has a lot of potential to be a lot of fun, and I really enjoy just exploring the world, and graphically it's super impressive for just being the Dreamcast. Well, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video of me rambling and talking about the Dreamcast, talking about the games I have in the collection, and some of the history I have with this console. I really do like it, and I will continue to enjoy it, and I will continue to discover games for it. Thank you guys so much for watching me rambling about the Dreamcast. Super appreciate it. Again, I would love to hear what kind of games have you picked up where like, I don't think this is for me, and then put it down, but then went back and picked it up again and said, oh, this is awesome, this is the best game ever. Let me know. I'm honestly curious to hear about it. I definitely had some games that I have done that exact thing, so I would love to hear what you have to say.